A pinch of cinnamon, a squeeze of lime. Flavor can take us back in time. Sweet, bitter, sour, and more. A symphony or a one-note score. Savor every flavor and scrumptious bite. My favorite dessert is Cloud Delight.
All these eggs. It's right down the street from my house. $5 a dozen. Such a good deal. They always got eggs. Some stands don't always have eggs because they're really popular. People must have a lot of chickens. Milk. This recipe, ideally you want to use half and half or a full fat milk. I used 2% and it turned out great. Eggs. Thanks, chickens. Rich in nutrients. Help manage your weight. Support your brain. Improve your eyes. Maintain strong bones. These are the best. A little bit of cornstarch. This is the magic ingredient. And sugar. Oh, butter. Butter makes everything better. And cream. Full fat whipping cream, 33%. And a little bit of salt. And of course we're going to need a saucepan. And a whisk. And a hand mixer. And another bowl. Icing sugar. And dark chocolate. Oh, it's the best. Big toothpick. Oh, you can use a small one too. So in goes the sugar. And the cornstarch. Really hard time finding this stuff. Apparently everyone's bought all the cornstarch up in Nanaimo. Just mix that up around. And crack some eggs into the milk. Trying to get everything on both cameras. Whisk them up. I made it before in a smaller bowl and it doesn't give you a lot of room to whisk, so this is much better. And pour it into the sugar and cornstarch mixture. And you want to whisk it continuously. And keep whisking and whisking. It's on medium heat. That's a good. It can boil on medium. You just gotta whisk it consistently. Give out all the lumps. Sometimes some recipes will suggest to strain it to get out any lumps because only other time I've ever made it, there were lumps. So I don't know if it's the temperature of the eggs or the temperature of the milk when you begin, but I guess that doesn't really matter because you're heating both up. Just constantly whisking. Make sure to get the sides. Again, it's on medium heat. After 5-10 minutes, it does this. Starts to boil. That's how you know it's starting to work. And you also want to cook it a little bit so to activate the cornstarch and get rid of some of that cornstarchy flavor. why it's looking good. And the sun come out. Overexposed all the light. It's beautiful. And let's just stir it a bit more. It's still boiling. It's beautiful. And it'll really thicken up and set in the fridge or on the counter. I put mine in the fridge to speed it up, but I don't put saran wrap on it because I don't have any. It's okay if there's a bit of a skin because it's Cloud Delight and I made it up. And then goes the butter, about 2 tablespoons, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. All of it's just rough. Don't really measure, just kind of eyeball it. I've only made this twice. This is the second time I've made this. I grew up, my mom used to make it. And she asked me for a name. I can't remember how old I was, maybe 10, 11, 12, and I called it Cloud Delight. Yeah, see, so it's been in the fridge for about an hour. It's all firmed up. This is whipping cream. Maybe a cup, maybe a cup and a half. It all depends on what kind of size of dish you're using, but I use 2 cups of milk for the custard. I'll put it on high in the hand mixer. Whip some cream. You don't need to grease this dish at all. There's a lot of fat in the pastry cream and in the whipping cream. The director walking around in the back there. Yeah, you want it to be on a thicker side. You don't want butter, but you want it to be quite thick. Sometimes I tend to lightly whip cream because it makes it very smooth. But for this, you want it as solid as you can get it without turning into butter. And look at the beaters if you want. And now here's our pan. The cool thing about this recipe in graham wafers is you don't have to use puff pastry. It's kind of like a Napoleon or what the Dutch call a tompoes. And you think of like a vanilla slice. So you think of the graham wafers as a substitute for puff pastry. So you don't have to make it or buy it. It's quite simple and it tastes delicious and it kind of goes with the rustic theme. You'll see I kind of just throw it all together. I used to want to be a pastry chef. I just like to play and not take myself too seriously. So here you're just designing like laying bricks or tiles. That doesn't have to be perfect, you just kind of do your best. Again, I just like to play around and as you'll see, just kind of fill in some of the edges and you're going to break some of the cracker and that's fine. I like this part, kind of playing Tetris. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. So that pastry cream, scoop that on there. See it, even if it turns lumpy, that's all right. And there was a skin on it, and there will be a skin if you don't put saran wrap on it. And actually, you can put the saran wrap on it even when it's hot. I've baked lasagnas with saran wrap and tin foil, as was taught to me working for a catering company. And ever since I've done it for friends, they think I'm nuts. But it works. It kind of steams it. It doesn't melt, surprisingly enough. You wonder what's in that stuff. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not a perfectionist, which is funny because sometimes I am. When it comes to graphic design, I zoom in to pixel level and make my adjustments. Yeah, so you keep building. I like this part. Just lightly press them into the custard, the pastry cream. I told my mom that I was making Cloud Delight for the show and said that I used pastry cream that I found in a really awesome book by Mark Bittman, How to Bake Everything. I always remember her using custard. I mean, they're pretty much the same thing. I think pastry cream is just a fancy term for custard. I could be wrong. But this is a great hack. Grain wafers instead of puff pastry. It's neat, actually. I don't know if you get I think the boxes are common size. A box comes in two packages of graham wafers, like towers come in a box. And for this size pan, it fits one perfectly. Like I said, this is the second time I made it, and the first one used exactly one package, and this will use one package too. It's perfect. Yeah, don't even grab a clean spatula, just use an old spatula. It's all going in the same place. And see, you want this, it could have even been thicker. You want this to be stiff. Because it's going to chill in the fridge. And the longer it chills, the better. I mean, even overnight is best. And see, you can see it's a bit soft. That's okay. And just smooth it out, make it level. And another layer of graham wafers. We're upside down there. Cut off the edge. You can snack on all those crumbs once you're done. You can pretty much use any size pan that you want. Just kind of keep in mind the ratios. You hear the dishwasher in the background. Yes, it's not pretty, but sure does taste good. I have a theory that I've been saying for years. As long as you use good ingredients, you don't screw it up, it's going to taste good. By screw it up, I mean, make a big mistake, like forget to put sugar in, although I've done that before. I made pumpkin pies one time, and they had been in the oven for 5 or 10 minutes. I opened the oven, pulled it out, stirred in some sugar, closed up the oven, and it turned out great. But I mean, if you burned it, and you're not going to burn this. The only thing you could maybe do wrong here is not let it chill long enough in the fridge before cutting it, which has happened. We're not cooking the pastry cream and the custard long enough. We're not, in proper consistency with this icing I'm trying to make. It's the second time I've made it. Right? That's probably a bit too runny, as you'll see, because then the chocolate's going to bleed. But every time you make something, you kind of, if you pay attention, you kind of figure it out and you get better at it. You realize, oh, what did I do? What could I do differently? What did I like? What didn't I like? I'm always analyzing things like that. Especially the things I spend a lot of time doing, like, writing books and cooking and baking and playing music. I'm quite self-critical, and also able to praise myself as well. I always looking to how to improve things, or to make things taste better or look better or sound better. And often just to myself, I have a high standard. I like to hold myself to a high standard, even though you wouldn't know it by visiting my kitchen. It's a mess and just kind of all thrown together. And here's where I do take pride in my cooking, but also too, I just like to have fun, and this is a huge learning experience making a cooking show. And the chocolate, so I've melted this dark chocolate with a little bit of cream. And you probably want to use like a piping bag, and it maybe could be thicker and maybe should chill the icing first, I think. Something like that. Yeah, see, those blobs are way too fat at the front there. It's the right idea though. Yeah, piping bag would be good, and if the icing was chilled, and maybe if the chocolate was, thinner. But you get the idea. And I don't like to use too much sugar on top. There's a lot of too much icing on top there. And then you take the toothpick, or the skewer in this case, kind of mimic the design as you would see on a vanilla slice or a Napoleon or a Tompoos. It's kind of a neat effect. Never actually done it before. This is the first time I've done it. There we go. Beautiful. And into the director and into the fridge. And now we wait. Oh, look at there. Hours later. So it's been about 2 hours. And looking back, you can leave it longer. The longer the better, and overnight is great. Right, you're dealing with custard and cream here, and the cream has no stabilizer. I just thought of now. And a flatter edged pan might give you a nicer slice. Right? I mean, it's firm enough. And it does like to flop, because again, you're dealing with pastry cream and whipping cream here. Yeah, see, it's somewhat set. Here's why I'm looking for perfection, and I don't think I'm finding it. Well, you get the idea, and boy, it tastes good. Wow, if you like this kind of stuff. Looking for some photogenic camera angles. Put that aside, and that gives you an idea.